And now we are going to continue crocheting the back panel. So this pattern is worked not from bottom up or top down. This is worked from one shoulder to another. So what we are going to actually start this pattern is the length of the sweater. So for the size S, I will start with 82 chain stitches. Okay, so once I am done with 82 chain stitches, now I will start to crochet the first row, which is the front part. And because it's the front part, we will keep both yarns in the back. If you need to understand first the stitch, you first have to check the tutorial that I did about the striped ribbon stitch, and then you can follow this tutorial step by step, because I am not going to concentrate on how to crochet the striped ribbon stitch on this tutorial. The pattern continues like this. I am going to skip the first stitch from the hook, and then I will continue I will insert the hook in the second stitch from the hook, and I am going to crochet one slip stitch. That's what I'm going to do in the second chain stitch. Again, 2 slip stitches. I will continue to crochet 7 slip stitches in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the pattern starts with 7 slip stitches. Next, I am going to start with a closed half double crochet stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook in the next chain stitch, pull through, and then again pull through the 2 loops. Then I will continue again on the next stitch. So this is the second closed half double crochet, and now is the third closed half double crochet, and here this is the last stitch with this color, so I need to change color. So I will yarn over, because the next stitch coming is white. So I will yarn over, I will insert the hook in the next chain stitch, but I will leave the blue yarn and I will pick the white yarn. I will leave a tail, long tail, and then from the back I will pull through, and then again keep the yarns with the finger. The finger will help you in the back to keep the yarns fixed, as you can see here. So then the white loop, you will pull it through the other 2 loops. So like this, we have finished 3 closed half double crochets, and in the same time we have changed to the white color. Now the pattern calls for 4 closed half double crochet. So in the next 4 stitches we will crochet 4 closed half double crochets with the white color. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is the last one. Because it's the last stitch with this color, I will insert the hook, I will leave the white color, I will pick the blue, always from the back of your work. Okay, so I will yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the 2 white loops. Now the pattern calls for 13 blue half double crochet, closed half double crochet stitches. So now I will continue to crochet 13 closed half double crochet stitches. So I have crocheted 12, and now this is the last stitch with blue, so I will change color to white, yarn over with the blue, insert the hook, leave the blue yarn and pick the white yarn, always from the back. So yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the 2 loops. And now I will continue crocheting 4 white closed half double crochet stitches, because this is how the pattern continues. And again, at the 4th one, which is the last stitch with the white, yarn over, insert the hook, leave the white yarn in the back, take the blue yarn, pull through, and pull through the 2 loops. So now I have already changed to the blue yarn. The pattern is going to be like this: 7 slip stitches, 3 closed half double crochet stitches with the blue, and then we started to have 4 white, 13 blue. Now we did 4 white, we will do another 14 blue. So I'm going to repeat the pattern 4 white, 13 blue 4 times. I will have 4 white stripes. So now I have 4 white stripes. In between the 4 white stripes I have 13 blue stitches. And now here I am left with 16 stitches. So I will continue to crochet 16 closed half double crochet stitches until the end. Okay, you guys, so I did the last 16 stitches, 1 chain, and now we are going to work on the other side. Turn your work like this, and on this side we are working in the back. The back side is facing us, so also the yarns are going to face us. Always we will leave the yarns in the front. So I did 1 chain, I turned, now I will yarn over, I will skip the 1 chain and I will insert the hook in the back loop of the 2nd stitch from the chain, and then I will do a closed half double crochet. And I will continue to do on the back loop. Now I work only on back loop. Closed half double crochet. I will continue to do 16 of them. I did 15, and at the last one I will yarn over, insert the hook in the back loop. I will leave the blue yarn from under the head of the hook. Okay, so once I picked up the white yarn, then I will yarn over like this and pull through the back loop, and now I will pull through also through the other 2 loops. So the blue yarn is in front of you, you keep that in front of you, and now I will continue crocheting with the white yarn and leave enough space that is not too loose and not too tight. And now you can continue crocheting the rest of the blue stitches in the back loop with a closed half double crochet. So this is what I am going to do in the back for this pattern, and then I will continue crocheting the same pattern, 13 here, and then change to the white color, and then change to the blue, and then change again. Where we have white we will change to white, but remember, always at the last stitch of that color you have to change the color at the last pull. So that's how you're gonna change colors the last stitch, and then I will continue to crochet and change colors until I arrive over here, and then I will show you the pattern for the last part, which is this is the bottom part of the sweater. Okay, you guys, I kind of finished nearly the full pattern here at the back. So 16 blue, 4 white, 13 blue, 4 white, 13 blue, 4 white, 13 blue and 4 white, and I am here at the end of the pattern. I have already changed the color to the blue one, and now the pattern calls for always the yarns in the front because we are working the back part. So now the pattern calls for 3 closed half double crochet, 1, 2 and 3, and then I have 7 slip stitches and 7. So I am at the end of the pattern of the second row. The second row is a back side row. So now it's the same. We are going to continue doing this pattern front and back until I have in total 53 rows. It's going to be 26 ribbings in total, and 26 ribbings will be as 52 rows because one ribbing is always 2 rows. but we will add one more row so we can see these 26 ribbings even better. So the pattern for the back panel, it is going to be 53 rows in total. So here is the back panel. The back panel, it is going to be like a normal square. That is the shape of the back panel, and it is going to have 26 ribbons. 26 ribbons by 2 is 52 rows, but we are going to make one more row to go back like this. The panel for the back side, again, it is going to end up on this side over here, on the shoulder side on the top. Anyway, for more references, please check the website. For the sleeves, I started with 70 chain stitches. One stitch is for the turning, one chain is for the turning. So the length of the sleeve, it is going to be 69 stitches. We are going to work 69 stitches forth and back for one sleeve. And of course, the sleeves are the same, so we are going to crochet 2 of them. Once you have 70 chains, I will start from the first row. The first row starts always with a slip stitch pattern. So I will skip the first stitch from the chain and I will insert the hook in the second stitch from the chain and I will just do a slip stitch. And I will crochet 7 slip stitches also for the border of the sleeves. So 1 slip stitch, 2, continue crocheting 7 slip stitches. So we started with 7 slip stitches, then we are going to continue with 3 closed half double crochet. Yarn over, insert, so 1, 2, 3. At the third one, we are going to leave the blue yarn and we are going to pick the white yarn because we are introducing from here the white color for the stripes. So keep the yarn in the back of your work because always the first row is the front part, the front side. And pull through. Try to keep the loose end with your fingers so you will not lose it. Okay? So now the pattern calls for 4 white closed half double crochet stitches. So 4 stitches in white. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And at the fourth, I will leave the white yarn in the back and I will be sure to pick the blue yarn always from the back of your work. The front, the back. Okay. And pull through. So I have 7 slip stitches, 3 closed half double crochet stitches with blue, then I changed to 4 closed half double crochet with white. Now the pattern calls for 13 blue closed half double crochet stitches. So I did 12 and at the 13th I will leave the blue one and I will pick the white one. Always be careful so the things do not twist because sometimes this end twists like that and then you have everything all over the place. So just be careful that the front side is the front side at the front and the yarns are always at the back. So yarn over, pull through and pull through the 2 loops. As you see, I pulled too much, so I have this U. So then I have to fix that by pulling a little bit of more white, just enough to be not too tense, not too tight, but also not too loose. Okay, so now I can just leave the blue yarn in the back and I can just continue working the pattern with the white yarn, which is again 4 white stitches with a closed half double crochet stitch. Okay, so the pattern repeats itself because I have in total for the sleeves 4 white stripes, and then I will repeat this pattern 13 blue and 4 white for another 2 times. Okay, so I will repeat this pattern over here, this segment, another 2 times. So I will continue to do 13 blue, 4 white, 13 blue, 4 white, and what is left we will do it with the blue. I will show you that at the end, the pattern for the how many stitches will remain at the end. So let me show you. If you can see here, so we have 1 stripe pattern, 2 stripe pattern, 3 stripe pattern, and then we have the last pattern of the white stripe over here. And now what is left here are 4 stitches, so I will continue to work closed half double crochet stitches until the end. So like this I finished the pattern for the first row. If you check at this point, you will think that this length is too long for your sleeve, but do not worry, because this kind of stitch, the more you work, the further you work, it will get tighter and tighter, like smaller and smaller. So now let's continue the pattern for the second row, which is in the back side. And the back side, we do 1 chain, we turn our work, and again in the back side we will keep all the yarns in the front. From the second row we start working in the back loop only. We will skip the first chain from the hook, yarn over, insert the hook in the back loop of the second stitch from the hook, and I will crochet a closed half double crochet. I will crochet 4 closed half double crochet. This is what the pattern calls for. So 2, 3, and the 4th one I will yarn over, insert the hook in the back loop. I will put the yarn under the head of the hook and keep it in the front, and I will take the yarn, the white yarn from the back, and I will pick that yarn, the white yarn, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops, and I will keep now the yarns in the front for the second row. So I will continue to crochet with the white 4 in the back loop, of course, 4 closed half double crochet, always changing at the last stitch, changing the color. So at the last stitch, insert the hook, put the yarn under the head and pull it in front of you, keep it in front of you, pick the blue yarn, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the other 2 loops. Okay, and always the yarns in the front. Now I will just continue crocheting this pattern from the back side. Where I have blue, I will crochet with blue. Where I have white, I will crochet with white. And I will meet you here at the last pattern of the end over here for the border. Okay, you guys, so I did finish all the pattern up to here, and now this is the border, the pattern for the border. But first we have to crochet 3 closed half double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, and then again with the same color 7 slip stitches until the end. Okay, this is the pattern for the second row. The pattern is the same over and over again. Where you have the white, you have to crochet with the white, and how many stitches you have with the blue, you have to crochet with the blue. You just have to be careful to change the color every last stitch of that color. And also you have to also be careful on which side you are working. If you are working on the shoulder side, this is going to be connected with the shoulder, so here you have only the closed half double crochet stitches. But if you are working on the ribbing side for this part over here at the end of the sleeve, then you're gonna have to switch to the pattern of the 7 slip stitches over here. So now I'm just going to continue the third row, which is the same as the first row. The only difference from the first row is that at the first row we crocheted on the chain stitches, but here on the third row and from the second row and on, but yeah, we are going to crochet on the back loop always. So one chain, turn your work, and now I'm working in the front, so all my yarns will stay at the back. So I will crochet 7 slip stitches, so 7 slip stitches, and then I will crochet 3 blue closed double crochet stitches. At the last one, at the third one, I will leave the blue in the back and I will pick the white yarn. Okay, and now I will work the 4 stitches with the white yarn. And here it is. This is how the third row looks like. I will continue crocheting now. Where I have the blue stitches, I will crochet with blue, and where I have the white, I will crochet with white. Again, changing colors. All my yarns will be in the back because I'm working the third row, which is in the front side. So guys, here it is. I did finish the third row. As you can see, I just followed the same pattern. There isn't much to do. You just have to be careful to know that you are working on the shoulder side, which is this side, and no slip stitch pattern. If you are working on this side, then you have to do the slip stitch pattern, and then it's just the same stitch over and over again. And also you have to know that you are in the front side and then you keep the yarns in the back, or you are in the back side and you keep the yarns in the front. So I will keep working the sleeve pattern now. I did already 3 rows. In total, I am going to crochet forth and back 31 rows for the sleeve pattern. I will end up not with the 31 rows, I will end up not on the slip stitch side, but I will end up on the shoulder side. Also in the total you are going to have 15 ribbons, so you're going to have 15 of this. So I will continue to crochet the rest of the pattern forth and back for another 28 rows. In total 31 rows. Okay, you guys, here it is. I did finish the sleeve. As I told you, the sleeve will have 15 ribbons in the S size. So if you check from here to here, you will have 15 ribbons, 15 of this thing over here. So another thing is that this panel, it is going to end up on the top over here. So you are going to finish 30 rows forth and back, and you're going to end up on this side, but then you're going to do one more row up to here, and your 15th rib, it is going to look like this, like a full rib. So now I am just going to cut the yarn. I will just leave some yarn for the sewing. And of course you're gonna have to make 2 of them for the sleeves. Okay, you guys, so here are all the 4 panels, the front, back, and the 2 sleeve panels. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to sew the shoulders, the 9 ribbings over here, and then again the 9 ribbings over here. So if your size has more than 9 ribbings, of course you're going to sew more ribbings here for the shoulder. So in my case I'm doing size S, so I have 9 ribbings here until I started the decrease and the increase. So I'm going to make sure that the ribbings will match, so like this ribbing will match this ribbing over here, and until I have 9 of them. So this is what I am going to do now. Then I am going to sew the sleeves, making sure that half of it is on the front panel and half of it is in the back panel. And again, I'm going to sew this panel over here. So this is my first sewing, shoulders and sleeves. Then I'm going to just fold it and sew all the underarm and all the sides of the panel. It is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is my 9th one, and I'm going to make sure that they match. I'm just going to use the leftover yarn that I left when I finished here at the front panel. So I am just going to do a simple sewing. I mean, you can just sew as you want to, as you are used to. For me, I just like to go pick here and then go back here and then again pick here. I just kind of go in rounds like this, if that makes sense. Here at the last edge stitch that I did, and then I'm going to insert also and pick this, I don't know how you can exactly call this one, but it's like not the ribbing, but before the ribbing is like a half circle here. So I will insert and pick this half circle stitch over here. And I'm going to pull a little bit, and then I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to find the same half circle stitch, which is this one over here. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I hope you understand that. Like I have all these circles, half circles here. So I'm just going to pick this one on this side now from up down. And again, I will pull it through also the last stitch like this. So it's like I kind of made a loop between them, and then I will insert again in the same place that I did when I came in, but now this time I am also going to pick up the two sides of the V. So here is the ribbing, and the ribbing always has this V over here, so I'm going to pick these two V's and I will pull it through. Now I will go on the other side and I will pick again the V of the ribbing. So here, but now I will pick it from up down and like this. So now they are connected. Now I will pick again only the V of the ribbing, and now I will start from the V of the ribbing. Then I will pick the half circle which is in between the two ribbings and pull. This way, here I have connected these two with kind of like a loop that it will make the sewing invisible. So now I will go on the other side and I will just pick the half circle, which is in between the two ribbings. Now I will go on this side, and on this side I always pick two, like half circle and the V of the ribbing, or V ribbing and the half circle. On this side I always pick one, or the half circle or the V ribbing. So on this side I will pick the half circle because I already did that from the beginning. That was the last one. So now I will pick the V ribbing, which is here. Okay, so like this. Now on the other side I will just pick the V ribbing and pull. Now in this side I will pick the V ribbing and the half circle and pull. Now on this side from up down I will just pick the half circle, and then here the half circle and the V ribbing. So always the last one that we are picking says which one we are picking on the other side. So now half circle, V ribbing, so on the other side V ribbing. I will just continue like that until I have connected all the 9 of them. So V ribbing, half circle and half circle and on. You can see, let me pull. So this is how the sewing is done, and it actually is something that you can't really see, and I like this sewing, but you can do whatever sewing you feel like. So I will just now at the back, I will just hide, fix well and hide. So the same thing that I did on this shoulder, I am going to do it again on the other side of the shoulder. Then I am going to sew the sleeve on both sides. And the sleeves, of course, I will make sure that it's not too wide or too like ruffly like this. So just I will make sure that half of it is in this side and half of it is in this other side. Since I have 15 ribbings, I will leave one here in the center, and I will have 7 ribbings on this side and 7 ribbings on the other side. If your size, the sleeves have not an uneven amount but have an even amount, just divide them on an even number. For example, if I had here 14 ribbings, I would just do this. I would just leave 7 here, 7 here on the other side of the shoulder of the panel, and then I would just sew the connection here of the shoulder. I will just sew it here in between the 2 ribbons. So just check your pattern and what kind of position works best for it. In my case, I am just going to sew it like this, and I will make sure that the sleeve is not too open or too ruffly. So I will just make sure that it's relaxed, and that way I'm going to sew this panel with the sleeve panel with the bodice of it. So I'm going to continue sew the shoulder, the other shoulder, and I'm going to continue to sew the sleeves on the big panel, and then I'm going to show you how we are going to proceed to sew the whole project together. Here we are, you guys. I did sew shoulders, sleeves, and now the last sewing is going to be by putting the back panel underneath the front panel. So let me show you. Okay, here it is. So now I will start sewing from here to up, down here, and I'm going to do the same for the other side. And then once I have finished sewing, I will show you how to crochet the collar. Okay, you guys, so once the whole sewing is finished, so I did finished and sewed everything, like it's all sewn. At this point you can even try it on, of course, but I do want to show you how to crochet the collars. For the collar, it's up to you, but I usually start from the back in the middle. So you go in the back side, in the back panel over here. Then I will just start from kind of like the middle. This is the back opening, so I will just start somewhere in the middle, and for this I am going to use a 6mm hook, and with the blue yarn I am just going to insert the hook in in the center of one of the ribbings, and then I am going to pull some yarn, tangle it a little bit in the back. Then I am going to crochet 7 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If it's too high for you, you can make it lower, but in my case, I'm fine with it. So I will skip the first chain from the hook, and I will insert the hook in the second chain from the hook, and I will do a slip stitch. So this is the first one, and then I will continue to do slip stitches on each chain until the end. So the second, and then in total I will have 6 slip stitches. So 3, 4, 5, and 6 at the last one. This is how it will look like. Then I will insert the hook in between the 2 ribbings. So I started where is the center of the ribbing, and then the next row it is going to be in between the 2 ribbings. So I will insert the hook here where is exactly the center of the two, in between the two ribbings. So these two, insert the hook, pull through and slip stitch, and this we are going to skip. So now I'm going to turn my work, and again we are going with slip stitch. Skip the first stitch from the hook and insert the hook in the second stitch from the hook, but in the back loop, and again slip stitch. So this is number one. Insert the hook in the back loop of the second stitch and continue doing slip stitches always in the back loop. So in total I crocheted 6 slip stitches, and this is the quantity that I am going to keep for all around. So then I will do 1 chain, I will turn my work again, and now I'm going to work towards the pattern. So skip the chain that we did, insert the hook in the back loop of the second stitch from the hook and slip stitch, and continue crocheting slip stitches until the end. In total 6 slip stitches. And then again, now I am going to insert the hook right here where is the next ribbing, in the center, pull through and again slip stitch. This is how it will look like, and the color, it is going to tighten up your work, and it is going to keep all the structure quite tight at the collar. So I like a lot this kind of stitch. So yeah, I'm just going to continue forth and back crocheting 6 slip stitches in the back loop, back and forth. And of course I am always going to pick the stitches once in the middle of the ribbing, once in between the two ribbings, and again on the middle of the ribbing, and then in between the two ribbings. So this is how I'm going to continue crocheting. And here of course you have to, in the front for example, we have all the increases and the decreases. I am going to insert the hook over here, and then I'm going to insert again here in the between two ribbings, and again here where I have the next ribbing. This is how I'm going to work in the front. So just continue forth and back crocheting 6 slip stitches until you come back again at the place where we started. Okay, you guys, so here I am. I crocheted all around in the front and then here in the back now. Last one was when I inserted the hook in between the two ribbings. So I started crocheting the neck at this ribbing over here, and I finished right here in between. And it looks like a big gap, but believe me, it is not. So now I left also some yarn, and I'm going to sew these two together again with a tapestry needle. It is not perfect for sure, but I think it's fine, and it just looks like a continuation of the ribbing. So the rest I'm gonna go down and just fix. Yeah, so, and that is all pretty much. I am just going to go on and sew in all this, wave in all these ends that I have from inside. And of course you have to wave in also the white ends. You have to be careful with that. It's good if you wave them in, do not leave them hanging around. And I want to show you the back of this one, because even the back is very, very pretty. Like, look at this one, there is a pattern also in the back. If you see here, the only thing is that those lines are not like perfect to show, but you never know. I mean, it can be used also as a pattern, why not? And I think it's quite pretty. And here at the top is just blue, and then comes in this white, which I was very impressed when I first discovered how to do this stripes. Then when I saw the pattern in the back, it just felt like pay for one and get two. Like, yeah, I mean, like I do the work for one pattern, but actually I get two. It feels like it's also kind of reversible. Anyway, this also depends on the taste of the people. So that's it pretty much, guys. I am just going to soak this into lukewarm water, and I'm going to let it dry and block it for, I mean, it's winter, so it's going to take like maybe 2 or 3 days to dry. But then I am going to try it on. So let me show you how it turned out.